So welcome to Dr. Matt Flynn from Newcastle University. Matt, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your interest in working carers?
I've worked on older workforce issues for about 14 years now. I started off in a research center called the Center for Research into the Older Workforce. And it was a research center which was set up to help employers manage aging workforces and to look for ways to encourage their older workers to stay in work a little bit longer. And one of the ways in which they can do so is to provide some support for those who have caring responsibilities.
So Matt, can you tell us about options for flexible working that you are aware of?
Well, a lot of organizations offer different types of flexible working. We know that, especially when it comes to older workers and those with caring responsibilities for elderly relatives, the most frequently asked for type of flexible working is part-time work. But there are other options available for people, such as job sharing arrangements, such as home working, such as core working hours, and so forth. Sometimes organizations have these policies. Sometimes they're focused for people with child care responsibility. Sometimes organizations don't have those policies, but managers would be willing to consider options which keep the employee productive, happy, motivated in work, and often it's a case of just asking for something that might be a little bit novel to your manager. There are a lot of reasons why organizations might offer flexible working beyond just being a good employer. It saves money in terms of recruitment and retention. It leads to a more motivated employee. Sometimes it saves in terms of the bottom line because you have the employee available to at times where the manager needs them the most. So there can be various reasons why why your manager might not just be supportive, but might also be on board and very happy to come to a negotiated settlement. So one of the things that's often discussed is how flexible working is something for big companies, but it's not for small organizations. That a big company like Aviva can restructure work so that an individual can still fit within the work environment and still have and also has some flexibility, but it's not going to work for the small company. Well, small companies are often the ones that have the biggest skill shortages, and they're the most desperate to keep staff who know the organization and have the skills that the company needs. So they can find something, an arrangement, which would suit the employee.
What are the key challenges for employers in meeting requests for flexible working?
Often employers just don't know what options are available for them. So especially a manager for the first time has somebody who's asking for flexible working, they won't know, first of all, what work arrangements the employee could actually use, but also how it's going to fit within the overall organization. Mm-hmm. So sometimes the employee has to take the lead in not only asking for a flexible work arrangement, but also to sort of map out how it would work, how they would be able to manage their workload, and how they would fit in with the overall team. So sometimes it's giving a pitch to your manager rather than requesting something which would be useful to you. Mm-hmm. Your employer can say no, but they have to have a reason for saying no. And there are some guidelines from ACAS setting out the reasons for denying a request. Often employers don't flat out deny a request. There might be some negotiation in the process, a little bit of give and take, but a lot of research by the Department for Work and Pension has suggested that most requests lead to an arrangement which suits both sides. Overall, there's more of a recognition today than there was a decade ago that people can stay productive even if they have a life outside of work.